was wondering if the reverb was going to work.
I didn't even hear myself.
You don't hear yourself?
I do now.
Oh.
I do now.
Dude, as soon as we start this, now I got to clear my throat.
Take you a swig.
Oh, that Dr. Pepper?
The Dr. Pepper?
Hey, Texas, bro.
That's that Dr. Pepper?
Is that Dr. Pepper? All right. Goodness. So here's the thing. And we're going to try to do this fast so we can get this show on the road. This is like episode 102 now. We've made episode 101, and hopefully it'll be out here in just a couple more days. We've been kind of working on it and getting it going. I don't think we've ever had a episode with guests and then another episode right after with guests as well. But this is our youth camp special, so it's going to be very special, and my goodness, it's hot in here. But it's going to be great. We got
chilling.
We got 2 guests today, and I don't want to keep them standing in awkward position. So we're going to get them straight into it. And there's my child. Without further ado, would you like to introduce our guest?
You want me to?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jett Kruse and Miss Riley Osbern.
Woo! Woo! I broke everybody's ears.
We got you some applause going here.
I'll give y'all some time, and then I'll turn on y'all's mic. Cool.
Y'all got it?
I think y'all are on. Y'all ready?
Alright.
How we feeling?
Feeling good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Feeling good. This is going to be interesting. I already kind of gave you all the rundown, but this is going to be the first podcast we record with this camera. I'm hoping we only use it for podcasts like these and we get a little better with it. I did a little test on it earlier today to make sure it kind of worked. We're just kind of synchronize audio and stuff like that. It's probably going to be, I don't know, it may take like 2 weeks to edit this video.
I was say it's going to take a lot more editing for sure.
Yeah, because I don't know. I'm not going to go into on how it works. But anyways.
No, bore them with our editing process.
Yeah, they're like, man, we're never going to be a guest on this show again.
Hello? I think it is this side.
Yeah.
I'm just going to hold it up here.
Okay. All right. I also forgot to tell y'all this part, and I meant to. So, a little bio about yourselves. So let's start, we'll start with Jett here. You're, 19?
Yeah.
19, graduated high school last year. So, as far as camp goes, this is your first year at camp being a counselor.
Yeah.
You are currently in college, correct?
Yes.
Not currently. He's on summer break.
No?
No, I'm taking summer classes.
Dang, you're taking summer classes.
Fact check.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm looking at the camera, but the camera's here. I forget. My bad.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, fact check, dude. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why, bro?
I'm trying to graduate a year early.
We're going to have to get some context to that here in a little bit.
I'm trying to graduate a year early, and so I'm having to take classes. I'm taking 3 this summer. Might take 1 next summer, but yeah, just trying to graduate early.
Makes sense.
And I go to Oral Roberts University.
It's going to be difficult for you,
Talons up, baby.
but angle your voice.
Angle?
Yeah, towards the mic.
Hello?
Angle.
Yeah.
Hello?
Talk to Steven, but don't look at Steven.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you don't want to make it awkward.
Hey, Steven.
And so you're going for...
Hey, Steven.
Hello, Jett.
You're going for... My goodness, these sound waves are off the hizzy. You're going for... what are you going for? Some type of engineering.
Mechanical engineering.
Okay, cool. Sorry, you knew that.
Fact check.
Also, another interesting fact about Mr. Jett is he is dating my youngest sister. So that's kind of why he's like sitting as far as possible from me. Me and Jett, we get in a lot of physical fights. Especially here lately, it's been crazy.
Ryan beats me up.
All the time. Okay.
Blink twice if you're not okay. I mean, look a lot.
3 times. Really not okay. All right, and so it's Jett Kruse. We also have Riley Osbern here, a family of quite a few.
Yep. A lot.
17 or 18?
18. I just turned 18.
Just turned 18.
Yes.
When?
May 18th.
Like, okay.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday.
That's, no, I thought that was Zeke's birthday. His is the 17th.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just turned 18. You just graduated from high school. Were you homeschooled, right?
Yeah.
kind of like Alba Golden, but really homeschooled. Because you went to Alba for a little bit, correct?
Yeah, I went for 2 years.
And the rest of your family goes there, right? Like nobody else is homeschooled? Okay. I couldn't remember if Hudson was or not. If he
still goes there.
was he ever homeschooled? Oh. Okay. So how do you like the homeschool journey? We all relate except for him.
It was a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that trauma. And I get it, Alba Golden's not like a big school, but there's you have to deal with people like Jett. So it can get kind of hectic, kind of crazy. So currently you are working at Speakeasy?
Yes.
Correct?
And I nanny.
And you nanny.
Yes.
You probably make bank doing that.
Sometimes.
Compared to Speakeasy,
yes,
probably.
Compared to Speakeasy.
Nannying normally is a pretty good gig. So yeah, are you going to college? Trying to go to college? I know you just graduated, so
I don't really know yet.
Haven't made a plan yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I always laugh when it's like when they had the senior night of the church, and it's like everybody's saying what they want to do, and then you're like, I continue to work in the workforce or something.
I was like, well, I have nothing else to say.
Listen, what I said, I went to college for like 6 months. It was dental hygiene. I think that's what I said I was going for. Literally did for like 6 months and then ended. So like you saying you continue in the workforce is honestly better than half the things like most people say. Because they're not going to do what they say. Some of them might. Is that what you said you're going to do?
Yeah, so I said I was going to do engineering, but the senior night at the church, when they asked everyone to say their major or what they were going to go for, there was like, I feel like probably 5 people who said they were going for engineering. I think there's only 2 left. And it's me and Hudson, I think.
The only 2 that are still doing it?
Yeah, still doing it.
What is he going for?
Mechanical as well, but he goes to A&M.
I remember actually a lot of y'all saying something about engineering.
Yeah.
Because there's like some electrical. What is that? Is business engineering like a thing? No. Electrical, mechanical. I don't know. I went to engineering camp back in my day. Oh. Actually, yeah. It was a whole week long. It was not out of my own will. My father's will, actually. And not God. It wasn't God.
Our earthly
it was
father.
my earthly father's will. He said, so this is a side story, but I was trying to learn how to drive a manual vehicle. And we had a Kia Soul, a little small one. And as you know, Gavin is from New Mexico, our cousin. And so that's where they're from. That's where they lived then. So we went to take my sisters there to hang out for the summer or something. Me and my mom took Emily and Elaine over there. And so I went to learn how to drive a stick. We get over there, spend the night that night, like hang out with everybody, and then leave the very next day, just me and my mom, to drive all the way back home so I can go to engineering camp. Worst week of my life. It was terrible. There was like one day that was okay. I think it was electrical engineering that I thought was kind of cool. But like the very first day, they hit us with mathematical engineering.
Oh dear.
Nobody wants to do that. And it sucked because there was like 20 people there. And all those kids wanted to be there but me. And this one kid. He was asleep the whole time. But, man, it sucked. So, if you're going to do engineering, you need to have the passion for it.
Yeah. So. I kind of do. Sometimes I don't. But
you're like, I gotta make money.
I feel like I'm already too far in, and might as well finish.
Yeah, I mean, finish it, and then do it for a couple years as far as work goes. Find a job, make some money, and then that way you're having income coming in, and then you can go study for something that you may actually want to do.
Yeah, that's the plan. Maybe I will enjoy my engineering job. It's just I've heard the jobs aren't a whole lot of math, and that's really what I'm doing right now, and so it's just kind of like.
You're saying they say it's not a lot of math, but you're doing a lot of math?
Yeah, we do a lot of math, like the classes are, but like the actual work, you don't have to like solve. There might be a little bit that you have to do, but I would say 90% of it.
Yeah, I've never wanted a job that involved a lot of math. Your girlfriend does engineering as well, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
My sister.
Engineering, it's like a schematic blueprint degree thing. She basically draws blueprints on like it's called CAD, computer aided drafting.
I actually have a CAD file converter on my phone.
And your dad does it too, and so
Really?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never knew.
In case you didn't know.
I thought he just made me survey all the time. Okay, yeah. So, but you're enjoying it, I guess.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Anytime y'all move, it's gonna make sounds.
It's okay.
That's the beauty of us having a clearance podcast set up. I don't know. Anyway, so we'll jump straight into Steven. I feel like you haven't even said like anything.
I haven't said much.
You know, if
you're
you
not
want to
right.
like ask some questions, you know, you can do
they're
that.
the ones talking. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. You're talking less than Riley. It's crazy.
Well, Riley's the spotlight guest.
Yeah.
Oh no.
How on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous would you say you are right now?
I'm not like that nervous.
I can't hear it in your voice, so that's good.
Okay.
I've heard it. I feel like more in other guests before.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what I think is nice about the podcast, and I know like for me and Steven starting it, which is really, really nice, is wait. Oh, I thought you were going to sneeze.
Oh no.
What's nice is you don't have to, like, we have a camera. So there's nobody really watching us at the moment. So you can't be really nervous. Especially when it was just me and Steven and we didn't have like any guests. We didn't have to be nervous at all because it was just like we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Then when we started having guests come into the show, then you got a little bit more nerve wracking because you're like trying to make sure everything works and nothing ever does. Man, bless Daniel Davis's soul. It was we used to do it in the closet, so it's super hot. His microphone wasn't working. We're making him do mathematical equations.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I mean, I get it, it's not super cool in here right now, but compared to then, it was so bad. And which we've already had our little bit of mess ups. Every time we have a guest or try something new, something messes up, and then it just kind of is like the running joke of Gonzalez Galyean podcast. But you know, it is what it is. So, but where was I going with that?
I don't know.
You're just talking about her being nervous, and she said
Oh,
she
yeah.
wasn't nervous. So
Yeah, we're proud of you for
Are you nervous?
not so nervous.
No, not really. I was kind of a little nervous when we were standing over there awkwardly, but
Understandable.
then we came over here, and then it just kind of feels like I'm not. Oh, poor Lenny.
She was nervous.
She's upset.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really feel like anyone's watching me. Maybe when I listen to the podcast, I'll be like, why am I talking like that?
You'd be like, oh, I sound so weird. I
I
hate my
said-
voice.
I hate my
have a
voice.
look. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah. It is what it is. It happens, but
So do y'all? I guess y'all while y'all edit the podcast, so do y'all like listen to it as well?
I do.
he normally, huh?
So I do, because I'm like, well, when I'm picking clips, when I decide to do that.
Because like as far as the actual video, there's not a whole lot of editing. Like we literally save it, put our intro theme before it, and just trim the beginning, trim some parts,
Yeah.
and edit those. So I'm sure he listens to it.
Yeah, we need to pay someone else to do that.
Yeah.
So
So
I feel
are
like I'm falling
I wish.
behind.
Are you like used to the sound of your own voice now?
Yeah. And I have a YouTube channel too.
Oh yeah, true,
Yeah.
true.
So
I much prefer my voice on the podcast versus off of video.
Oh yeah, is
'Cause-
it different?
Well, because it's like, you know, you can like really have the radio voice.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
nice.
make your voice sound deeper if you want.
fake.
But yeah, I know,
Fake.
definitely. I definitely have a podcast voice. But it's nice because you can hear yourself in real time as it goes. That's why I put my headphones on. If not, it just sounds weird if you take them off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm pretty used to my voice. I notice a lot that I have more of a lisp than I thought. And it's like, it's whatever. It used to be worse when I was younger. So, but yeah, so camp 2025. Bye. That wasn't the name of it, but it was In Pursuit.
In pursuit.
And, you know, we were in a 5.5 hour pursuit to camp itself. Did you ride the
Yeah.
bus?
I did.
Which bus did you ride?
The high school bus.
Which bus
The
had
one
the,
that blew up?
the blue
The
blown
high
tire?
school bus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 'cause
All right,
why-
tell us about that.
Yeah. What happened in that moment? And was it dramatic? Did it feel like everybody flipped? Did it feel crazy, or you just like, oh,
Well,
you hit
okay.
a bump?
At first, I think I was about to fall asleep, but then
Mm.
we like hit something. But I thought we just hit something, but it was actually the tire.
You're just like, oh, it's a person.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I was like, oh, we probably like hit an animal or something. And then we like kind of started swerving a little bit
Oh.
and like fishtailing. And then Miss Martha started telling, it's all right. Like everybody settle down. We're all right. And it took us forever to stop. And she was still like screaming at everybody to settle down. And then, yeah, then we stopped. And then a bunch of the boys started getting up because they're like, we're going to go fix the tire. And then Miss Martha's like, y'all sit down. We're calling someone. But yeah, it wasn't like that scary, but
I do
It's
feel
kinda crazy.
like you start swerving and fishtailing in a bus that's maybe 15, 20 feet high, tall. That probably is a
I'm a
little,
little scared.
It was a little
nerve-wracking.
scary.
Because if it goes, doof, I mean, that sucks.
Yeah.
I didn't really
and there's
think
not really a
about that,
seatbelts in the.
Yeah.
That does suck.
Yes, it does suck. When you talk about the way Miss Martha was reacting, it makes me think of that clip from The Office where it's happening. Everyone stay calm. You got
The
there
fire
yet?
drill.
Yeah. Stay be calm. It's happening. It's like, y'all know what I'm talking about? You watch The Office?
That whole scene is chaos.
I haven't seen it in a while. I don't even think I finished it.
I just crack up
well,
when
I
he
enjoyed it.
throws a cat into
Through the ceiling
and
and
it
comes
comes back
out.
out. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Take whiskers
I
with you.
wonder, like, if the van or the bus did flip, like, what side do you think would be worse? Like, if you're on the side that hit the ground, or
Well, like the
I feel like that'd be-
glass.
yeah,
Maybe on that side that hits the ground, but the second seat. So you like fall into that person beside you, but
But
the
also
other people
think
might
of
fall
all
on
the
you.
people that are gonna fall.
that's
on
something.
you.
Yeah.
If it's
People are
your side
falling
that
on
falls, then you have like a crowd of people falling on you
Yeah.
too at the same time.
But then if you on the other side, it's just I don't think there's any good spot.
Driver.
The driver, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, no, I heard it was pretty intense. So it kind of delayed the whole trip to what, like an hour or so.
Yes.
So they just have like a roadside assistance guy come out there and like change the whole tire. It's just one
I
tire.
guess.
Like
Yeah,
AAA?
just one.
AAA. Huh.
So
That's
did
great.
Nick actually do anything, or he just watch? Because
I'm sure you just watched.
he's one of those people
He's
that
probably one of
he
the
stops
dudes
to
that-
help with the tire.
I don't know what he did, but
Everybody's praising Nick.
Always,
He
bro.
ain't no hero.
Nah.
He's probably one of the guys that like suggested putting duct tape on it. Aside from duct tape on it, it'll hold.
Yeah.
Were y'all scared like the rest of the trip? Like, hey,
no,
No?
not really.
you just gave it
Just
to
go back to
God.
sleep.
Yeah, I did go to sleep a lot.
Dude, I rode the bus one time up to Arkansas, and I got so car sick. Like, just the ride ain't bad, but once you get to the mountain, you're gonna get car sick, and I always get car sick in general, so it really gets me. On the way back, I took like allergy medicine, but it had Benadryl in it, and my goal
That's
was
smart.
like, hey, I'm just gonna knock me out. Problem was, I took it right before we left, and it takes like an hour to kick in, and the whole ride down from the mountain was like 30 minutes, so I was already car sick. Then finally we get on the interstate, and then I fell asleep and like slept the whole
Yeah,
way.
we got down to that gas station though, and like, all right, about to throw up.
Yeah, me, Nick, we were out of
And
the
Carson,
van.
you, Nick, and Carson.
Did Carson already throw him up? Somebody threw up.
I think
some
Carson might have
six-year-olds.
had.
I think it was Carson.
Yeah, he had already thrown up. Maybe.
Yeah. I like, because I used to throw up so many times when I was younger, so like, I'm kind of know how to hold it in to its extent. Yeah, I was about to die. I was like, I gotta get some fresh air. Because that's the best thing, is fresh air or like cold air blowing at my face helps. So, but yeah, ever since then, I was like, nah, I will spend the gas money and I will drive. But it's also kind of nice because then, like, when we go up to camp, we normally stop and get lunch, and then on the way home, get lunch again. On the way up there, it was just us and Steven, Sierra, Jett, and Elena. But man, that Cracker Barrel was not it for me. It had no flavor. Where are the
Yeah.
chips? Where are the spices?
Where are the spices? Yeah.
Where are the spices? And then the purple cow on the way home. Overrated.
Like, what was the deal with that?
Like the weight?
The weight was sucked.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? And then like the guy's like, "Oh, don't worry, it's coming out right now, bro." 15 minutes later,
Dude, I was the last one to get my food. You're already done.
I didn't even realize that your food
I
was
was
not coming out.
surprised. You're normally as
That usually happens to me.
But it was like, I don't know, it had no flavor either. Just kind of mediocre.
Oh, really?
I
The
just
food
didn't
was
think it had
good,
no
I
flavor.
thought, but
They messed up everybody's order. Nobody got what they were supposed to the first time. You got chips, supposed to get fries.
Yeah. Yeah. I would probably give it maybe a 6 out of 10. Just because when I
Yeah.
got the food, I thought the food was pretty good, pretty solid burger.
It wasn't bad. I just think it needed more flavor.
Yeah, I agree. The wait was awful, but I feel like it was fun just to sit and chill and be. I was happy to be out of the car.
yeah,
Yeah.
same.
The wait was.
But
bad because
we were barely on in the car for like an hour and a half by the time we stopped, maybe 2 hours. But I don't know. And then
I told Sierra I thought it was neat that like it was kind of like an after camp thing. Like, although it was most of us leaders or volunteers.
It was fun to have that.
So it was nice. I feel like we should do that before also. I feel like all of us volunteers and leaders should hang out like the week before.
Yeah.
Because we kind of are a team. I mean, like all the campers are a team, but also like we're also a team. They have to come together.
Especially like the younger leaders, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be a good idea. You can join in next year. You plan on going, counselor?
Possibly.
Lord willing, amen. Where's our amen button?
5 miles away.
Amen. Anyways, so overall, I think it was a good camp. Kevin always just be preaching some fire, absolute flame balls, just everywhere, right?
Like a dragon.
Just like a dragon out there, and a good dragon,
Yeah, good dragon.
Not like the type out to kill you, like the dragon from Shrek. You think they're out to kill you, but really,
They're out to marry you.
they're
They're out to marry you.
Or Toothless.
yeah.
He comes off very like
He's
intimidating
Night
at the
Fury,
beginning, but then he's like smiles and he ain't got no teeth.
but really he does.
Yeah, they go.
Yeah, that movie's supposed to come out soon, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I thought camp was good. I can't really say there's like a moment that like just really stood out to me. There's like some things that people said that I thought was really neat, and then like I already forgot. Sometimes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well, like I wrote them down. I thought it was neat, but I can't remember. But I don't know, like if y'all had like a testimony you wanted to share, or just like a certain moment that kind of hit for y'all. Or
This is your first time being a counselor, right?
Yes, it
So-
was.
Talk about that.
Okay.
and were you a leader?
Mm-mm.
Were you not? Who's your leader?
Will.
Oh, okay.
Major pet.
Did they ask you to be a leader?
I did, and I said no.
No.
That's fine. So
I'm not-
I
probably
enjoy
would
being a leader, but it's not for everybody. That doesn't mean you're not leading in your own side. Because, like, for camp, like, being a leader is an important part, especially for the younger kids, like, being an example. But a lot of it also has to do with your voice and, like, your enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you're more of those more timid people as far as a voice goes. So I feel like you could still have been a leader, especially being a senior, and been a good example to the people on your team without having to take that leadership role. Will, I think, was a perfect role for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
he's short, but a lot of power.
A lot of power behind Will.
But yeah.
But yeah, it was my first year being a counselor. I'd gone all 7 years. I was of eligibility. I was able to go, and so it was definitely different. But honestly, I thought it was. I liked it. I feel like I liked it more. I think
It's weird.
it is
It's weird how
It's-
that happens in
It's
it.
weird how you're looking at the counselors and you're like, I mean, it's awesome that they come and serve, but you're like, I just don't know if it'd be the same experience because
Yeah.
there's like really not like I feel like camp is something that everyone looks forward to. Like
Yeah, you feel like you're not gonna like. You're like, the counselors. They're not gonna like bond like
yeah,
the campers do, but
yeah, but
they really do.
they do, and like it's just very cool because when you're a camper, all you really focus on is your own team.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a counselor, like I was doing the hike, I was leading the hike down there, and Gavin was in the back doing the chants, and so I saw like half the teams the first day, then I got injured.
Oh yeah.
Then I
We'll
got
get to that in a little bit, too.
Yeah, and then so then I went to the fishing the next day, just kind of chatted with brother Brandon, and just saw all the teams, and it was fun seeing them all. That was my favorite part, I guess. Like my testimony about being a counselor was like just seeing, like kind of stepping back and like looking at all the campers, looking at all the fun they're having,
Yeah.
and just watching them. Like every night after night, instead of sitting in the front row like I usually would, like I have at camp for the past 4 years or so, and I was sitting in the back, and I just saw them all like every night at worship, getting more into worship, getting
Slowly breaking out of their shells and
getting out there, becoming more genuine, like just falling in love with God, and then also as on their teams, like just seeing them grow closer together and just seeing them having fun. And so that was my favorite part about being a counselor, is that I kind of got like more of a whole picture of camp rather than just focusing on my own experience or like my team, how well we're doing.
Yeah, I do think that it's really neat to like see the progression of certain students. Like there are some kids there, particularly dudes, because I feel like dudes are a little bit more hardcore as far as their heart goes, a little bit more hardened to things, so not as open to being emotional or like opening up to God about things. But there's a lot of guys that just from like a first glance judgment side of things, you see them like, I don't know, I don't feel like they're gonna really open up in worship or whatever. But there were some dudes that I saw, they were just like really worshiping and stuff, and I could tell it wasn't a show. Like they didn't care who was watching, they didn't care if anybody was watching. Like it was just them and God, you know. And I thought that was really neat. If I was to had given my testimony last night, I was going to mention there's two of the greatest sounds in the world, and I heard them both at camp. One is the sound of a chain net when you shoot it and it just swishes. Beautiful sound, just, you know. And then the other is when you're sitting there praying that the Lord's going to move in a lot of campers' lives and just change them, and you know, hearts be changed and souls saved. And then as you're praying that prayer, all you hear is just feet shuffling and pews moving, and you just see, or not see, but you hear them going to the altar and just laying it down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like instantaneously as I was praying, like that happened. It was cool. So, what about you as a camper, your last year? What's your reflections and things that you look forward to as a counselor coming up?
Okay, well, to be honest, before camp, I actually wasn't really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I actually thought about not going for a little bit. Just because, like, all my friends were counselors this year and I was the only one that was going to be a camper.
Yeah, tough.
But then, right before he left, I was like, well, I can't really do anything about it. So I might as well have, like, a good attitude about it.
Yeah.
So I think one thing that really helped with that was, like, my team. Because I got on a team with, like, Nora and Ellington. And, like, Will was a good leader. And that made it a lot more fun for me. And then we also had, like, a lot of little girls on our team. And I felt like it was fun to be, like, the big sister for them and, like, help them out with whatever.
And that's what I mean about the leading is, you know, they probably looked up to you.
Yeah, it was fun to be that for them. Especially Nora, like, it being her first year.
And then you can just think about it. It's like, if you didn't go to camp, you know, those girls might not have had someone to look up to, or someone that was, like, someone they can go and talk to or whatever. You know, you probably, was it Nora's first year? So, you know, you probably made it a lot easier for Nora too. So, but man, we should have let you do a testimony last night. That would have been crazy.
I don't think I could.
In front of the whole church. But no, that's good, because it's crazy, you know. I know a lot of times people just, I think it's crazy you never want, like, you don't want to go to camp, but it's cool because, like, you're like, I don't really know if I want to go, and then you end up going and realize, like, man, I was really glad I went. And you don't want to end up, like, doing something you're going to regret, you know.
Yeah.
Like, this is kind of side, but, like, Bradley, he likes basketball now, but there's a sense of him that regrets never playing basketball in high school.
Yeah.
When he could have, you know. And, you know, you don't want to live your life with regrets, you know. So, but no, I think that's great. I think it's cool that, you know, he was able to change your outlook. I think it's also super important that, like, you came to yourself and realized, like, hey, I'm going. I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer the whole time. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm going to have a good attitude about this. Because, I mean, you could have just went and be like, you know, I don't want to go. I'm just going to be like, whatever. Because I've been to camps, and there's always a camp about every year. There's always normally a dramatic girl.
There's always the one girl you know.
Yeah.
And I don't think of you like this. Like, I think you're a very high-spirited girl. But there's always that one girl who's just, like, super just down, dramatic, just acts like they don't, like they're hurt or something. They never want to do anything. And then, like, it just drags them down. Normally they have a friend or something, so then it drags them down. And then now a counselor's over there having to watch them the whole time and stuff, so then they can't help out, so it kind of drags them down. So, you know, it's important to find that moment.
Well, I would say there was a girl there that was acting that way, and by the end of camp, she was, you know,
More
interacting
reactive.
and everything.
Yeah.
That's good. It doesn't happen all the time where that happens, so... But
because like it makes you wonder, why are you even here? When they're acting they don't want to play in the games, they don't want to participate in music, they want to be like, okay, so why are you here? But in the camp, now they are interacting with everything, and like, that's why they're here.
Camp, dude, it breaks down barriers. But I do, like, I feel like I've been to camp not into the times where I just didn't want to go, but the times where I'm like not really right with the Lord, and I'm not like really caring to like get right with the Lord. And then by the end of camp, you know, it hits you, and then you finally get back right with the Lord. But I think it makes a big difference when you try to go into camp already either being right with the Lord or at least having the spirit of, okay, Lord, I'm going to camp. If there's something you need to show me to change, then show me. I think that helps a whole lot. I think the bonfire has kind of been a really nice part about camp for a lot of us guys. Is normally we're in a pretty good standpoint with God. So
Yeah, the bonfire. It's done a lot. I mean, I feel like because I think someone, Will, mentioned it last night. Just saying that because you're able to go, like, you know, usually you go get your youth camp high, you go back, and then you have to do it all over again.
yeah,
But with the bonfire, we're meeting semi-weekly.
yeah.
Not
I'm
every
gonna
week,
say,
but
like, I'll be the first one to say that the fire definitely still goes out.
yeah,
Because
for
there's
sure.
nothing like the youth camp high. I mean, it's awesome. It's mainly because you're so disconnected from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think the bonfire helps to at least keep that flame at least
Yeah.
lit. You know what I mean?
It's so fire that it spawned a female spin-off of the bonfire that
Oh,
happened, and now, you know what I'm saying?
What do they call that?
I don't think it has a name.
I think it's just Bible study.
Bonfire.
The girls' Bible study?
Bonfire featuring women.
The bonfire, but with girls.
Both girls.
Do you go to that every
Yeah.
once in a while? I don't know. Do y'all do it every week?
No.
Just whenever we can.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Same.
I'm hoping with the summer that we can get the bonfire pretty
Stoked?
stoked.
Yeah. I'm hoping I can go tomorrow night if y'all do it, because Sierra's having her wisdom teeth taken out tomorrow.
Eesh.
So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to.
That's not gonna be at your house then.
No, it's not gonna be at my house. It'll probably have to be at the church.
Yeah, I definitely want to make it tomorrow because I know of at least one guy that's from camp that's gonna be going.
Yeah, he just texted us.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Are we meeting tomorrow?
What's his name?
Braden?
Braden
Braden.
Rankin.
Yeah.
Braden or Braden?
Addison's boyfriend?
Yeah. He's a dog.
He's a dog.
He's cool.
Um,
He likes One Piece. We're cool.
You're cracking me over your hat all week. It's like, my friend's such a nerd.
Whatever.
It's anime. I don't watch anime, so it's whatever.
It's a cool anime. You watch anime? I feel like you watch some.
I used to watch some. I haven't kind of stopped.
I'm sorry. I just don't have enough time to watch
Yeah, I don't really watch.
that many episodes.
I don't really watch anything anymore. Over the summer now, I'm starting to watch movies a lot more. But
Which animes did you watch?
I watched Naruto, Attack on Titan.
Never seen that. I've heard Attack on Titan's good.
It's so good.
Connor
But
watched it.
now I'm kind of out of it now, but they were really good.
I'm crazy. What about the camp lessons and stuff? How do you feel like they went? I guess we'll start with Riley because we didn't hear their lessons. I know kind of like what they were talking about. Actually, I don't even know what Emily really talked about.
She talked about the lady who touched the hem of Jesus' garment.
Yeah, that was one of her points last night.
Yeah.
How did I miss it?
But she said that at camp though. She told us she was going to be teaching about that.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know if you had like anything that you're like, oh, this was really good or anything, or you just want to give a quick rundown of how the lessons went or what they're about and stuff. I don't know.
They were all really good.
Yeah.
I really liked all the lessons. Megan's first one was really good, but I really liked her second one about modesty.
Yeah.
And like she just had a lot of perspectives on it, which was like cool to see because we don't get to hear perspectives because she gave it from like guy's side. She got it from Nick and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting to hear.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I really liked that.
Yeah. I know I talked to her a little bit before, or she was telling us about her lessons and how she was
Nervous.
yeah, just really nervous. Want to make sure that all the girls perceived it how she was wanting. She didn't want to come across rude or like, I don't know, I guess just rude, you know.
I
Just
think she
come
did a
across-
really good
Yeah.
job. And
I think when you're really concerned about that and you're really trying to make sure you have a heart about it like that, then, you know, God will speak to you and try to give you the right words, and then, you know, and at that point, it's, if you get offended by it, then it might be on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that's cool. It takes a lot of guts. I mean, sometimes it's hard. I guess I didn't really like taught but like one lesson in my life, But I feel like it has to be hard as a teacher or as a preacher or something. Just like sitting there and like God's like hammering you with like, hey, you need to teach this lesson, and you're like, man, I really don't want to because it's a tough subject. Mm-hmm. But then you're like, I got to do it. So like I feel like it'd be difficult. I remember Kevin one night was saying like we're huddling up. And for me, man, that's like one of my favorite parts. It's just him talking about the day and like getting all of us in the right mindset to getting us focused back. But as counselors, he gets us in a circle. We all sit and either hold hands or put our arms around each other and pray. But he'll just talk about it. And I remember one night, I think it was the second night, he was saying that he's like, man, like I almost don't want to teach this lesson just because it's a really hard topic. But I know that God like laid it on my heart and really wants me to teach it. So, I'm going to do it. As hard as it has to be, but I'm going to do it. Which, mad respect for him.
Yeah.
So, and I know it was said last night many times, but I think it would be remiss not to mention it here. But just Kevin and Callie, they put in a lot of work, especially like this week after we were talking to Kevin about that fight and stuff, and he was like having to deal with that, and then prepare for his lesson that night. There's a voice crack, and having to make sure all the games went well and stuff. It's a lot of stress. A lot of stress. So. That's crazy. What about the guys?
So the guys' lessons, they were all really good, and Brother Brandon's I like his a lot. It's just about chivalry.
Yeah.
And just kind of going the extra mile, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just for like your significant other or women in general, but also there's chivalry that I could show towards men. That's biblical. Yeah. That's biblical, and you don't do it.
And it gay.
Yeah, and it gay, and then like even like for you and Jesse, like it's easy for you to show. It's easier for you to like do something for her so you can get a reward, basically.
Yeah.
And so like, but not you like not doing it not for that, but doing it because you love her. You love her, and the Bible says to, and like God wants you to do that. And so that was, he gave a really fresh perspective on that as well. And just kind of like, gave like a list of like just a few acts of chivalry. And so, that one I think spoke to me really well. And then, Brother Greg's, like running the race, like with a purpose and just like running the race of life. And I really like that one. And just like he was Brother Greg is very good object lessons.
Yeah, he loves the object.
He loves his objects.
Like one of my favorite lessons ever is like when the one he did it was either last year or a few years ago with the chain and the white. That one was so good, and like even this one was really good as well. And so they were all really good.
Yeah,
the lessons were.
And then Axel also had one, I guess. Too.
Oh yes, he's good on surrendering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, surrendering
and sacrifice. Yeah, I thought they were all pretty good. Yeah.
Axel's testimony about like how he's a worship minister now, it's kind of crazy. Like someone just asked him to play.
Someone just asked him to play, and
he's like, I don't know anything about guitar. And it was like the summer going into his senior year, so like a year before he went to college, and that's what he went to college for. And so like a year he like figured out, hey, and
getting to the program that he got into is pretty difficult.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, it was probably the worst one I've ever seen, but let me in somehow. Now he's like really good. So
yeah, he was shredding on the electric guitar on some of those worship songs.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's just kind of crazy to hear that testimony, and just that it's like a complete 180 of like going into like he's like, I'm gonna go for business, hopefully make a lot of money to
probably start my own business.
Then he's like, now I'm gonna go for music ministry. Yeah, which there's not a lot of money in music ministry.
Like, any ministry is really not a lot of money unless you're like
Joel Osteen
or something. But then you're not really doing it the ministry side of things. You know what I mean? But no, I really did enjoy Brandon's lesson as well.
Yeah, Brandon's was my standout lesson, I think.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was neat. Because, like, I think there's a lot of ways you can interpret it. I think it was really good. Oh, I think it was, not interpret it, but, like, it was good for all ages. Because, like, the younger kids, like, hey, you need to look forward to, like, how to respect a woman. whether you are going to be dating her or you're just trying to be polite,
Right.
And again, not to get anything out of it. And then for the little bit older dudes who might have a girlfriend, they're like, hey, I wasn't doing this right, or I was doing this right, or I could be doing this better. And then even for, like, I'm sure for Steven as well, like, for me, man, it kind of hit me. I was like, I do most of these things, but there's some things I'm like, I should do this more, or I could do better doing this, or I need to start taking up doing this and stuff. So it kind of hits you.
The way he put it in was like, the Bible says she's a daughter of God. God's a king. So what does that make her?
Yeah, princess.
She's a princess. You treat her like a princess. And like, yeah, just certain things came into my mind. Like when we first started dating, I did used to like, always want to open the door of the car. Then like you get so used to it, like you're going to Walmart. We're supposed to go to our side of the car, get in. Yeah. It's like, I should probably start doing that.
Sometimes it's difficult, man. I still try to when I think, if it crosses my mind, I'm going to do it, but it doesn't happen a whole lot. Shout out Jett when he got here. I went to high five him and he avoided me, and then went to go open the door for Elena.
I actually didn't see your high five. Otherwise, I probably would have left her in there and high fived.
I literally looked at Elena through the truck, and she was like, I was like, yeah, you missed it. But I knew you missed it. You didn't see me, so.
And then you're gonna talk about the origin of the sea.
Yeah,
for
you
chivalry.
So for
correction,
correction,
it pretty much goes on like what he was saying earlier about how you can have chivalrous acts towards a man without it being gay. And the guy's like, and if it's going too far, just throw up a C. Like,
so that was like anytime. It's kind of like the running joke around church now. It's like you do something like, I'll open the door for somebody, a dude. Like, I don't think too much into it. Just like,
yeah.
And like one of them was like pulling the chair out for like a young lady, and so it's like that's like very uncommon.
Yeah.
And so like when you do that, they'll probably look at you kind of weird, and he's like, just throw up the C.
Yeah.
He's like, I still
that was something that he did say that I was like, I don't know. Like for me, as a married man, I'm like, I'm probably going to avoid doing that. Mm-hmm. Like pushing a chair for a girl, unless I don't know, like certain circumstances.
Then for like an elderly woman or something.
But like for the most part, probably not going to. Standing up when a lady enters the room, I think it's a cool idea. It's definitely not something that would hurt, but I don't know. I don't know. I think there's like lines. I went to go do something at camp to help one of the girls, and I was like, okay, this feels fine to like go help. I was carrying their bag and stuff in the rain. I was like, it's probably not a big deal. That's cool, but like if we were at the chow hall and like some girls gonna sit down, I'm like, hey, that just looks weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna avoid that.
Especially with you being 25 years old.
Yeah.
And they're probably like
13, 15 or something.
I kind of definitely interpreted that one as for like your significant other.
Yeah.
I feel like more so.
And I try to do that for Jessie, especially like I do it a lot more now than I used to.
Because she's
naturally
holding Lenny.
Yeah, because normally she's holding the baby, or she has like a lot in her hands and stuff. So I'm like, okay, it normally helps her a lot. Mm-hmm. That or I'm always like, anytime she's sitting down or doing something like about a squat or something, I always grab her back. Because normally she has a baby or something, like make sure she don't lose balance and stuff. So, but no, I enjoyed Brother Brandon's lesson. Really, all the lessons were good. I've always enjoyed Greg. He was kind of our teacher for a really long time. He was like our 5th and 6th grade teacher, and then as soon as we went to be high school boys, he ended up leaving the 5th and 6th grade class and started teaching high school boys. Yeah. So it kind of worked out. And
then we let Jeremy for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then I graduated and I went to youth, and then I left youth to go to the big church for a while, and that's where he teaches right now. So, which we're probably going to start going back to youth once all these kids graduate and go to college and career.
Didn't he do the young marrieds class for a while too?
And he did the young marrieds. I've had Greg for a long time, man. Yeah, he's a good teacher.
Well, you're saying you're going to go back to the youth group?
No, not the youth. Probably back to the big church. I honestly,
Why?
Because her dad was saying there's about to be like a lot of more seniors coming in there, and it's already packed. Also, dude, like it's pretty stressful when we had the baby in there. She's normally asleep, but then she started making noise. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel bad. I want to make sure everybody can hear.
We're teaching your dad's class pretty soon, actually.
Really?
I'll be there. I'll be there for that.
No, you just heard it. He's going back to big church.
I said pretty soon. and once this next class comes in.
Oh, okay.
And I said probably. I haven't even talked to my wife about it, dude.
I haven't even got the okay.
I didn't get that. But I'm thinking I'm gonna try to start going to youth a little bit more too, just so I'm kind of like involved. Because that was something that kind of hit me, was I feel like some of the kids don't come just seeking after me to talk to for like counsel and stuff, and I feel like part of the reason is I don't go out of my way to like really try to be involved in their lives, aside from camp time, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, I talk to them to play basketball or something, most of the dudes, but like I feel like I don't like just sit there and kind of like talk to them in their lives and stuff. So I would like to be a little bit more involved in their lives, especially how like Kevin is with literally all of us. So he's just always involved, ask how life is and stuff like that, and that's something that always was important to me. So I think I would like to give back, pour back out, you know.
Yeah.
So I may go to youth here and there. What's up? Nice. Yeah, and then we can talk about the preaching too. I think we kind of already did, but I thought it was cool. All the parables. I thought it was really neat that like Nick's main devotion was also what Kevin ended up teaching about or preaching about that last night. I had no idea because I never heard Nick's devotion.
Yeah.
That's another thing that kind of sucks. Like I enjoy doing the camp chant.
I feel like we miss a lot.
I feel like we miss a lot because we're just in there.
We're in that not chow hall. We're in that tabernacle all day.
All day, dude. And it's great, but man, like I didn't realize how old I felt. I feel old now.
We're getting. I think it's about time.
Dude, it
like maybe one more year. After that,
make sure it ends on a bang.
Someone needs to. Jett's gonna start doing the camp chant.
I'm not super creative. I'm musically talented either. So.
Oh, you got it, dude. It's fun. I enjoy it, and like that's like another thing when it comes to like trying to like be involved in people's lives is when we do the camp chant. We don't have a lot of time, but we try to like we get through it pretty fast, and then I try to like sit down with them, like ask them like what their favorite station was and stuff, and like what their favorite part of camp was so far. Try to be a little bit like interactive with them and
personal
stuff. Yeah, that way like kind of know who I am. But then you know, there's one thing that I noticed that we did or that we didn't do with every single team. We never once introduced ourselves, like by name. We said we used to be a boy band. We used to be Snap and whatnot, but we were never like, "Hey guys, I'm Ryan. This is Steven. And
I didn't want
Gonzalez Galyean."
That's my beautiful wife Sierra, and she's holding my child. Remember?
But did you say your name?
I don't know if I said my name.
You didn't mention my name either.
I don't think y'all said your names for my group.
Yeah, which honestly, like 50% of the kids probably knew who we were. The other 50 had no idea.
Yeah, we used to
They thought we were
be
cool,
known, bro.
Yeah,
that's right.
They thought we were cool. So, I don't know. I always thought it was fun. Like you get a team that's pretty quiet, and then like by the end of it, you feel like you made them louder. So, make a difference. Make a difference.
It's also I feel like they do enjoy it, but I feel like that's nothing you ever hear about. I feel like you ever hear the kids talk about the camp chant after camp's
when it
over.
comes to like the testimonies.
Not the testimony, just like in general.
Oh yeah, I hear them singing it, but no one's ever like, "Wow, dude!" Like
dude, that chant.
The chant was good, but like there were some lines in there that like were really deep.
Yeah,
you know, we do like we actually like, even though we made the camp chant this year in like 30 minutes, we do like actually we try to like make it fun, but make some of those lines like actually serious. Like this is actually kind of deep, you know. So I feel like we had a couple this year. Like, well, actually, really, the whole chant this year had nothing to do with like camp. It was just
nothing to do with camp, really.
It's about making a whole 180, which I thought was cool, and telling the devil bye, bye, bye. Yeah. But most of the time, we like say something about like coming together as a team and like the camp
6-hour drive, and
we want to make it different this year. You know,
yeah, we tried it.
If next year's our last year, we gotta like really like go all out, dude.
It has to be like some like the
super
most
emotional,
famous song of all time.
Super spiritual. Make people like break down and we're gonna make a worship song next year for the camp chant. How about that?
I just feel like the camp chant has like kind of like I remember my first few years it was in like especially in Oklahoma it was like super relevant. Like I feel like we did it more than just once, and then we even did it at the closing service on Sunday. But I feel like just slowly just kind of become just like a station. You do it the last night at camp.
Yeah, that's what I hate is that we only do it one time. I wish that we got all the teams the very first day, or really like Wednesday, and then sang it Wednesday night and Thursday night. But I don't know.
I wish we could do it on Sunday nights, but they just don't.
Nobody's ever loud enough.
No one's ever loud enough, so we just don't do it.
Yeah.
We did it one year and it was
I
loud.
thought we tried it twice. We just do it the once.
I don't remember. It was just kind of quiet. So.
I think we did it with Bang Bang Bang, and then we tried to do it with the Top Gun.
Authentic Face. The Top Gun one was probably like the most contemporary type one. Like, seemed a little bit more laid back.
I feel like the Bang 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 was a big hit because it was the first chant that was like that. Because, like I said, Kevin used to just write them out of himself. Like, they were like little acoustic. Like,
I don't think we had the creative capacity for a chant like that. You know?
But then, like, that was the first one where we brought a track and it was like a remix, and everyone was like, yo, this is kind of hard.
And it was like a little bit of rap in it. Fire, dude. That. There is one thing that's bad that happened at campus here. And that was that Brother Brandon found out about Snap. Yeah, so he was singing Taco Bell to us a lot. Thought about leaving the church, actually. So
they said he knows about the podcast, too, so you better watch what you say.
yeah, Brother Brandon is such a spiritual
Giant.
wizard.
He's such a
Not
spiritual
wizard. Giant, yes. Wizard. Witchcraft.
Yeah, get that witchcraft out of here.
So we're going to kind of shift it, but after this first story, I'm not going to talk about my fight I separated. That's a whole nother story. I don't know if you heard about that.
What?
I stopped a fight.
Oh, I
Yeah.
I heard about a fight, but I didn't know you stopped it.
It's a whole nother story, but I feel like I can't mention it without mentioning names, and I want to do that online. It was young kids, but anyways, we were going to tell one story, and I'm going to have Jett tell it, and then we're going to go into your Tanzania trip, because this guy also just got back from a mission trip. So tell us about, your injury at camp. Just, what was going on in your mind at that moment, and how did that happen?
Okay, so we start picking teams. We're about to play Ultimate Frisbee, just guys. So you just knew it was going to be a little bit more. It's going to be physical.
Intense.
It's going to be pretty intense. I mean,
Also, that was like my favorite, one of my favorite parts of the whole trip.
It was so much fun. That's like one of my first times ever playing, or at least playing in a long time, and so I really enjoyed it. I want to play more, even after my injury. But so within the first few like little back and forths, Samuel had already tackled Nick.
Dude, that was like the second play. That was intense.
Yeah, Samuel. He tries to say he was just playing the ball, playing the frisbee, but it was I would definitely consider it a tackle in a game that's supposed to be no contact.
Yeah, it was very personal.
But so we were just going back and forth. It was a lot of fun. I made a few good plays. Actually, right before my injury, so Nick was falling everywhere. Nick fell. I helped him up.
He's old.
Yeah, he's getting old. Has a bad ankle. But he was giving.
It was so slippery.
He was giving his all out there, and it was really slippery. And so he fell. I kind of helped him up a little bit. I turned around and I planted my foot, and I kind of did a split. I fell back, and then Nick helped me up. And I thought I tore my groin, but now I was fine after that.
Could have been fine.
And then so we did play a few more back and forths. We have like a little end zone area. So Cameron Hayes has the ball, has the frisbee.
The frisbee.
He throws it. I am kind of running. He throws it to the back of the end zone. And I'm kind of running I'm on the opposite side, and I'm running towards it, and it goes over everybody else. So then I start started dead sprinting towards it, and by now we're probably 30, 40 feet behind the end zone.
Yeah.
He way overthrew it, but we didn't have any boundary, so if I caught it, it would have been a touchdown, but he way overthrew where we were even playing.
Way, by 20, 30 feet.
Way overthrew it. And so I'm dead sprinting. Cameron Lennon he was on the other team, I think, but he was right beside me.
Super athletic kid. And so we're running, and I just hear him go, pull, pull, pull. And I turn, I'm running, and I see this pole right in front of me. I kind of move to the side, but it's so muddy right by the pole. I slip, and so I end up just I'm kind of sideways at this point now. I'm still going full speed. I
I hit the tetherball pole. There was a pole there, and I hit the tetherball pole on my knee, on my left knee, and my right ankle, and there's like a dent in my right ankle right now. I think it's just soft tissue, but yeah, it was pretty rough.
Nothing to be concerned about.
I hit it and I started spinning like a helicopter blade, and I landed and I was like, ow, that really hurt. And the pole didn't move at all. Pole wasn't even phased by me. You see those memes?
Dang,
it's like
pole.
The pole said, "And I shall not be moved."
Yeah, you see those memes, and it's like when you see more in football with like goalposts. They throw it to the back of the end zone. The player runs right into the goalpost, and they just fall over. And it's like goalpost 5-star recruit. This is a tetherball 5-star recruit, 5-star linebacker. My knee. I think it was this one. It's feeling a lot better now, but at the time I was going through it. I like got up, hobbled off to the side.
He did take it like a champ.
I was like, ow, in my head, and then I was like, I think I'm okay, but I had so much adrenaline going.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, I like sat there for a second, started walking. I walked down the hike once and back up too, but I was like, man, I'm starting to really feel it.
Yeah.
So I was like, Gav, can you handle this by yourself? I gotta just go sit. And so I just walked down to the fishing area, sat, and just talked to Brother Brandon for a while. And then like that day, the rest of that day, and that happened on Thursday. Yeah. Happened on Thursday, and on Friday, I could barely walk. I was really struggling.
Yeah.
And so I was starting to get really worried about my knee, but I still, when I got back, and it's feeling a lot better now. But at the time,
No bueno.
it was no bueno. It was a rough camp injury, and so, but Cameron way overthrew it, but I don't hold anything against him. He offered me a job right after.
Did either of y'all see that happen?
I didn't. I heard about
Dude,
it.
I saw the whole thing. It was pretty epic. Dude, the man just done. Boom! Flip. We got Wile E. Coyote up in there.
I didn't realize it was his legs. I thought he got ran into it. And I was so
It
surprised.
looked like you did,
Yeah.
but it also looked like he did like a front flip.
Yeah. And like I said, I hit it kind of sideways, and so I started like kind of spinning everywhere like a helicopter. Like,
We're lucky it was just you that hit it, because there's like 3 people, I think, there
Yeah.
at the same time.
and I just heard Cameron go pull, 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 and I'm like, I'm so locked in on the frisbee because I knew it. Like
I thought y'all all saw it.
Yeah, and so I was just so locked in on the frisbee. I was about to catch it. I was about to catch it. It was going to be a sick touchdown. But
Just like in the movies.
just like in the movie. But then I just ran right into the pole. But you know, I handled it well. I think so. But it was a rough
Like,
rough
my
time.
girlfriend's here. I can't cry. Get back in there, too.
She actually wasn't there. She didn't see me, and so I was
Oh,
like,
really?
I was just sitting over there. She's like, you know, I saw you fall. She was talking about the time when I like did the splits and fell, and I was like, yeah, are you not asking if I'm okay? I just ran into a pole. She's like, wait, you ran into a pole?
Yeah, she's not very sensitive.
We're just gonna pass by the fact that I killed a snake at camp. I'm just not gonna talk about the snake
You
that I
killed an
killed.
earthworm. That's what you did.
Did y'all hear about that?
I heard
No,
about
I heard
that.
you saw a snake. I didn't know you killed it.
No, yeah.
Skylar
I
saw the
was-
snake and kicked it towards everybody.
It was like in the middle of invitation, like while people like Ryan some are shuffling to the altar and all this.
Yeah.
And Miss Martha starts like boom, 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 boom on my shoulder. I didn't know it was Miss Martha. I was like, I don't know if this is like a kid wanting to ask me to help pray or what's going on. Like very aggressive. I turned around and Miss Martha, she's like, there's a snake. And I was like, what? She's like, there's a snake right under you. So I threw my feet up real quick. Then I bumped Sierra because she was wearing like open toe sandals or whatever. And she's like, there's a snake. And I'm like, where? And she's like, it's right under you. And I'm like, there's nothing under there. And a little snake like this big comes like doing this. I'm just like, and so did you get it? I'm like, I got it.
I just remember looking over there and y'all were like shuffling around, and I was like, I figured it was a snake, but I was like, I didn't see anything, so I was like, it's whatever. I didn't really care, man. I was like, I looked up. Anyways, God.
I kind of like did this. And it was like kind of doing that, but there was blood everywhere. So I'm like, I got it.
You got him good.
But like Nick already knew about it because when Nick came back from helping somebody, he had a cup and he's like, "You want me to get that snake?" So someone must have told him, I guess, that I had a snake under my shoe.
Got a snake in my boots.
I got a snake on.
Mm.
Is there blood on the bottom of the shoe?
No.
No. Where's your left foot?
Dang.
Dang,
Hey
no
Dudes?
proof. They are Hey Dudes.
Crazy, huh? Look like
They're like
DC.
I call them my Hey Dude SBs. Like Nike SBs.
Nice.
Mm.
They're really comfortable. These are my favorite pair of shoes I have, I think.
Same. Elena thought I was bleeding earlier. Told her it was just my lasagna.
Yeah.
That's for lasagna on my foot. We're at an hour.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll have to go anywhere.
I'm good.
We won't make it like super long, but we do want to get into like a brief testimony, like just I don't know, what something crazy happened in Tanzania. Tanzania is in Africa, correct?
Africa, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you see any lions or anything?
We did. We went on a safari. We had.
I only knew this because I heard Eli saying something about, I want to see a lion.
Yeah, so we were. We went for 3 weeks in Tanzania. That's including travel time, so we were technically in country 18 days.
That's still a long time.
Yeah,
to be away from home in a completely different country.
So it was definitely an amazing experience. We did see a lion. We had 3 free days on those days, and this was a manual labor trip. So we were like going. We were building churches, clearing land, flattening out like a pad. They were going to put a Bible college on, and so. But we had a free day, and so we drove.
How many were there, y'all?
There was 8 of us.
Dang.
Yeah, 8 of us went, and then our contact, and then he had a few other guys that were like kind of part of their organization, because the ministry has like 40 churches planted around where we were, or like in Dar es Salaam, which is a huge city. So, and there's no one really gets around, and so basically the church is needed like everywhere.
Yeah.
And so they had like 40, and so like other pastors at other churches would come help us build the church as well, and so. But one of the days we went on safari, we saw a lion. We drove like 5 hours. There, we woke up at 3, drove 5 hours. We're at the safari for 4 hours. Came back, but it took us. The traffic is so bad there that it took us 8 hours to get back.
Like city? Like y'all were driving the city, or?
We drove in. We were in the city for a little bit. Then we were like on the outskirts. They were basically in the country.
What is the city? Is Tanzania itself the city?
Tanzania is the country. The city is Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam. People just call it Dar.
Dar.
And so it's actually
if you know the people.
Yeah, it's actually the fastest growing city in the world.
Really?
I think 8 million people live there.
Golly. So it was like packed.
Which is like the DFW area.
Yeah.
But just a lot more condensed, I would say.
Yeah.
And like there's skyscrapers there, but the country is relatively young. Like it got its independence in like 1960. So you can definitely see like how young it is. But yeah, it was awesome.
Nice. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like I guess a brief testimony would be when we first got there, we had like 40 hours of travel time on the way there.
So you're already like.
I was already out of it. I had slept on a plane a little bit, but the first flights there were pretty rough, and so we got there at 3 a.m. There, it was 3 a.m. there. It's like 9 o'clock here. Wait, no, 8 o'clock. Something like that. 9 or 8 or 9.
3 p.m. 8.
3 a.m. 3 a.m. there. And so it was 8 hours ahead there. Okay, so it was actually like 7 or 8. Okay, it was something. But
big difference.
Yeah, so we got there, and our luggage is missing. We went through Kenya Airways, which is apparently the worst airport ever. So
that spirit.
Yeah. But so they lost our luggage, and no one had our work clothes, and so we get there. We just kind of go to bed. We go to bed. We wake up at like 5. Wake up at 10. So 5 hours of sleep. He just kind of shows us around the place that day because we don't have our luggage. And sorry, our luggage actually we were supposed to get it that night. Got delayed till the next night, and it was just and so we went to like a little African marketplace, and we bought clothes.
Heard.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I bought a pair of shoes. I had a shirt, so I just wore the shirt I was wearing to go work in the next day, and I had to buy pants and I had to buy shoes to work in, and so a few of us had to. Some of the smart guys packed clothes in their backpack, or one guy wore his clothes there. I don't know how he wore work pants on the flights.
That was crazy.
But so like the pants I got were like so stiff. They weren't really tight, I would say, but they were so stiff that I needed help getting into the car. I like couldn't bend my legs at all, but it's like they weren't tight. They were just
leather pants.
They would not bend, and so I could barely walk. I was like kind of chafing. I started to chafe, I'm like, and this is when we were working, so he just kind of showed us around the first day. The next day was our first day working, and it was probably our hardest day too. Not like hardest day of working, not just because we had bad clothes, but so my pants are stiff. Other people have, my shoes are almost basically kind of too small, but then they like kind of blow up. Like the sole and the shoe the sole just completely comes off, and like the shoe is basically a sock. And so my shoes, like, they were not good. And so then my pants, I'm starting to chafe. It's 90, 95 there all the time, and 90% humidity. So it's rough.
Just like back in Texas.
Yeah, it is rough. And I'm sunburned already. And it's like the first 4 hours in there. Thankfully, one of the other guys on my team brought tennis shoes. He didn't want to get them dirty, but he said the shoes he bought were like so bad. And so he put on the shoes he brought, and I put on those shoes. So that kind of helped a little bit. And then, but it was just like after that day of work, I was like, man, that was terrible.
We got to do this for another 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was like, we have another like 2.5 weeks of waking up and working. And that was like a moment I had where I was like, I can't do this by myself. I can't do this by my own strength. I need Jesus, and I need his strength to get through, to wake up early, to go to, like, because it's easy. The first week I was like guilty of getting into like kind of like everything was kind of blurring together. Like I would just we'd wake up early, go work all day. As soon as we get back, eat dinner, shower, go to bed.
Yeah.
And so
you're just doing a routine.
I was just kind of doing a routine, and I was waking, and I was like noticing, I was like, I can just wake up 30 minutes earlier, and like read my Bible, and just kind of have like a better start to the day than just waking up and be like, oh, because the first few days were pretty rough, and we go out there and we work all day, and every drive is like an hour. It was like an hour away, and the roads rough. And it's the rain. They have the rain season and the dry season, and so it's raining. It's the rain season, and the rain is the worst I've ever seen in my life. It's so hard. It's like
just heavy drops.
Yeah, like we had a metal roof at the house we were staying at, and like it sounded like we were getting attacked when it was raining. I don't know. Yeah, I was like, what is going on? And like so, like half the roads are washed away. We built, but we got through it, and we kind of got used to the work and started having a lot of fun with it, and just kind of getting close with all the people. And so we built 3 churches where we were, and they were all like an hour away from where we were, just in different directions. And sometimes we would be half of us stay and work, half of us go do street evangelism, and then at lunch we would switch. And so
you have like a translator with you?
Yes, we did. And so the first lady we talked to was right by the first church, and she was born Muslim, and so pretty much there's people who are devout Muslims and devout Christians, but most of them are just like Muslim or Christian because they were born into that. They just say they are, basically. Yeah. And so there was a Muslim. She was born to Islam. She married a Christian man. And then she had kids. Her family had basically forsaken her. Then her husband left her, and so she's by herself. She goes to jail because she couldn't send her kids to school. Then the government kind of sees she's in the situation she's in, so they let her out and kind of start helping her send her kids to school. And but then she has some disease and intestinal problem, and she thinks her kids start having it too, so she thinks her family's cursed. So she starts going to a witch doctor to try to find a cure. And it's just kind of, when I'm hearing this, I'm like, this is crazy. The first lady we're talking to in Africa is it's the witchcraft capital of the world. There's spirit houses in places, and people just go to there's witch doctors, and there's witch doctors everywhere, but or witchcraft and stuff like that everywhere. But it was it was very condensed, and she's talking to us, and so it was just, and then she ended up giving her life to Jesus right then, and she was right by the church, the first church we were building. And so it was just kind of a crazy moment because it's kind of hard to connect with people when you have an interpreter.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm just like we're talking to her. It's like a group of 4 guys, and we all shaved our heads to go. So it's like she's got 5 bald men or four bald white people. She's never seen a white person before, and so we're just all talking to her, and it was just like I guess a big moment that I feel like God used to show me that no matter what. Like no matter, it may feel like, it kind of feels like you're not making a connection, or you're just kind of talking to no one basically, because then you talk and the interpreter talks, and like they can kind of have a connection, but it's hard for y'all to get a connection, or it's just kind of just showing like, you know, God will use this in a moment, like because that lady listened to us a lot better because there's 4 white bald men right next to her than if that one the interpreter just approached her by himself, and just like a moment that I really like just saw that how like ripe the harvest is. Like these people, like they're eager to hear, and they want to hear the word of God.
Yeah.
And so that was just a really awesome moment. And I guess those are like those 2 stories. I guess are the biggest. That had the biggest impact on me. They were like one of the first things that happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. I know that not even but like 30 minutes from where y'all were, maybe like a month before y'all left, and I'm sure it's still happening, a lot of just Christians that are getting beheaded and stuff around that area. Do you ever feel not I guess threatened, but like fearful, or any moments that seemed like something could have been happening? Or
I felt safe the whole time I was there. Most nicer places, or not nicer, but like secure places, there's like compounds, and so there's like multiple buildings and walls, and that's where we were staying at. And so it's like, and they're guarded by, they all have a guard they're called Maasai. It's like a warrior tribe in Africa. And so these compounds like hire these Maasai, like a Maasai, to guard them, and people don't mess with Maasais. They kill lions apparently. I've never seen one. I didn't see them fight.
Crazy.
But, so people don't mess with them.
Like David.
Yeah, it was pretty. So.
Uh-oh.
I felt pretty safe.
I think my camera's about to die.
Oh, heck. It says stop recording. Low battery.
Y'all just keep on doing what you want. Y'all just keep on talking.
I don't know if it means like it stopped or it's saying stop soon.
Just keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna end it soon anyways. But
Alright, sweet. But I didn't really feel ever like my life was in danger or anything. There's definitely the surrounding countries of Tanzania, like the Congo, Uganda, Burundi. Those countries are, the Christian persecution is like pretty bad there. There's like radical Muslims that like try to.
This will still work, so.
The radical Muslims, that was the story you heard of, like the 70 Christians getting beheaded in the Congo, and definitely in those countries it's more severe. But in Tanzania, it's mostly just more so economic and social. Like if we were trying to buy land to build a church on it and a Muslim owned it, he wouldn't sell it to us.
Yeah.
And so, and the Muslims were all the higher government officials, and so like if they found out like we were doing street evangelism or we were wanting to do like public preaching, they would like kind of try to shut it down. And so not really any like life, they weren't life threatening, they were just like kind of like hindering us, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I never felt in danger or anything.
That's good. Yeah, I know we're definitely all praying just for safety and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I think Sam was worried about you.
I know
Really
Sam was worried about. I heard a story that they were at like a Wednesday night. They just got done after church and they went to eat, and he's like, "Guys, I'm really worried about Jett." He's like, "Look at this," and he shows everyone the 70 Christians getting beheaded in the Congo. And the Congo, we were on the other side of Tanzania, so the Congo's like inland right here. Tanzania's right here, right on the coast, and so we were all the way on the coast, like right by the beach. And so by water, I think they could get there pretty fast, but I wasn't really too worried of them seeking us out. So
Sam was over there place in fear.
Yeah, so I knew Sam was praying for me.
Yeah, he was.
That's funny.
Anytime at the bonfire. Remember Jett. He's on that mission trip.
Yeah. Good old Sam. Gotta love it.
Yeah, we'll have to get Sam on here one day.
Yeah.
Sam would thrive on here.
I think we'd be talking for like 5 hours, but yeah, in case this thing messes up again, we'll probably just kind of.
Yeah, it's getting late anyways.
Yeah, I know you get home and I gotta go to sleep. So, but no, it's been a good time. I'll see how the editing goes with all this. But yeah, it was a great time. I appreciate both of y'all being on here.
Thank you for
Riley,
having me.
I honestly was like, I just don't know if she's gonna do it or not. But I was really happy you did. I feel like you had a lot of great things to say too. So, and Jett obviously as well.
Thank you.
It was really cool to hear your testimony. It'd be cool to have you back on and really go into depth with it. I know we didn't have a whole lot of time,
I
but
know time goes by a lot faster.
dude, in the podcast room, it goes by fast.
It was like I'm
When you're having a good time.
That's why a lot of podcasts you see are like 3 hours
I
long.
know.
You're like, how do they do it? It's easy.
That's how.
It's pretty easy to talk.
I think our longest one's with Kevin, isn't it?
Kevin, yeah, maybe. Or
It's like-
Adrian.
One of those. It's like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something.
Nice.
So
Kevin's a dog.
he's a dog.
Love you, Kevin.
Brother Kevin.
But yeah, so it's been great. Here in the Gonzalez Galyean podcast, we end it very special with our last names and with guests. We do it with their last name first and then ours. We've already given you all the rundown, so make sure you're loud and proud into the mic, and don't forget, after you hear Steven say Galyean, we all say out. So, Miss Riley, I will let you start us off with it.
Osbern.
Kruse.
Gonzalez
Galyean.
out.